Cal, just overall, how'd you feel about the way Chase was able to come in and just kind of execute, especially on the mound, with you guys kind of playing behind him?
I mean, from the first inning, obviously, the guy was locked in today, touching a couple 96s early. Ball was coming out good. Off speed was being located every time he threw it. We knew it was going to be a good day after that first inning. And then obviously he rolled the whole time he threw. So it was awesome to play behind. I mean, those kind of days, you don't have to play much defense, which is nice. So good for Chase.
In terms of the offense, how do you kind of feel that's been going? I know Nate got going a couple days in this series. I guess, how do you kind of feel the offense kind of finished off this series for you all?
Today we didn't have that many hits, but we had good hits and situations where we needed a couple clutch hits. And we've kind of been that way throughout the weekend as we've just had tough at-bats. And I didn't even realize, but I saw a tweet yesterday about how everyone in our lineup had at least one walk. And, I mean, we all have been going up there trying to be tough outs, getting off our swings. So I think it's been paying off the last 2 days.
I'm good.
Okay, we'll go to Eric.
Cal, where do you think you guys are as a team? Do you feel like you guys are kind of hitting your stride at the right time going into postseason play? Because it seemed like you guys kind of hit a little bit of that rough patch in the middle of Big 12 play, but now I think you guys have won your last 3 conference series, and then that one against Oklahoma too.
Yeah, as a team, we all feel pretty confident in ourselves. You know, we got a lot of different guys rolling out on the mound, out of the bullpen, and we feel confident in all our guys there. And defensively, we feel good. And obviously, with our bats, we feel like we're gonna have tough at bats every day, which gives everyone confidence we feel like we can beat anybody. It's baseball, so it's on some days things aren't going our way. Not going to win every single game, but at this point, I mean, we feel like we're going to start rolling. So,
and then reference that Carlos tweet from yesterday. I think Jace finished off a perfect season in which he reached base every single game. Yeah. From a baseball player perspective, how difficult is that to do?
I saw that tweet too yesterday, and I didn't even realize it. And then today, I think he got out his first 2 at bats, and I was hoping he didn't get jinxed, but I was like, man, that's an impressive stat right there.
Okay, we'll go to Ronald.
How important was it for you guys, and it's been sort of the trend all year, you know, once you guys lose that first game of the series, to just respond back and take the series? How important was it for you guys to, you know, continue on making those bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, we don't plan on losing on Fridays, but we have been the last couple of weeks. And I mean, it's just same approach every day. Is we're trying to win every game just as much as the ones that we lose. And I mean, especially when we lose game 1, we're not really thinking about game 3. We're more thinking, you know, tomorrow's a new day. We got to come and we just got to win tomorrow. And then if we as a team, we feel confident if we win that game 2, game 3's ours too. So it's that game 2 is very important for us.
When we spoke with the coach earlier this week, it didn't seem like he was too confident in momentum being carried over from one series sort of to the next. But do you guys as players, you know, feel like this was a big series win to carry that on into the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, we bounced back from Friday, which was huge, and won the last 2 days. So we feel confident going into OKC. So, I mean, every day's a new day. In baseball, momentum's huge, but we just treat every day as a new day and just try to win the day.
All right, time for maybe just 1 or 2 more. Go to Carlos.
Cal, just going back to the Big 12 tournament, I know last year you guys didn't have that opportunity to kind of enjoy the postseason. So what's it like just to be able to get that opportunity again? Not only that, but then, like you just mentioned, you go into it with some momentum, winning your last 2 series going into it.
Yeah, I didn't get obviously I didn't get the chance to play in it last year, but the year before when I sat, I got to watch and get a little bit of experience from watching those games in the Big 12 tournament. And I mean, it's a fun atmosphere, and it should be a lot of fun for us the way we've been playing. So hopefully we just keep doing what we're doing and doing the little things right.
Chase, I know we kind of put a lot of emphasis on this, but when did you kind of know that you were going to make your first Big 12 start, and how big of it was for, or how big of it of a deal was it for you, or was it just another start for you?
Well, I talked to Gardner on, I want to say Wednesday before my bullpen, and he was like, yeah, you got the start on Saturday. That kind of took me a minute to settle in. I was like, oh, well, I got the start. And so I kind of took it as just a normal day, regular day, waking up, get up and do my normal routine, and I just got the job done.
In terms of your bullpen before you kind of got your start, did you feel good? I guess, was there something that made you feel like you had something at least working for you? And obviously the fastball was working, and kind of mixing your pitches was working as well with the speeds.
Yes, sir. So me and Gardner got to work in the bullpen, and we found some things that I could touch up on, and that really helped me today, and getting in there and getting the ball down into the zone instead of leaving it up a lot. And it helped me with everything else, all pitches.
Last one for me, in terms of the offense, I guess I know you only got that one, but did that kind of settle you down a little bit? And did you obviously the 3 helped a little bit more, but when you get that one run, did that help settle you down a little bit?
Not at all. Kind of went out there and pitched with a chip on my shoulder, and just went out there and did what I was supposed to do.
Go to Eric.
Chase, obviously this counts as your, first Big 12 start, but how big was getting that experience in Amarillo where you got to face a Big 12 team kind of on a big stage in that starting role to kind of get you into that atmosphere a little bit?
I loved it. I loved every minute of Amarillo. I think it kind of prepared me for this moment. Me facing a Big 12 team starting, and helped me out.
And then for you, where have you seen that improvement? Because over your past 5 games, I don't think you've allowed more than 2 earned in any of those appearances. Where do you think you've kind of gotten to a little bit of that groove?
Honestly, I just getting to work in the bullpen, and just get my body right, and trying to perfect my mechanics whenever I'm up on the mound.
All right. Anything else for Chase? Go to Ronald.
How confident are you guys just playing as a unit? Obviously, those bats are going to be there for a time, but this defense has been, pretty consistent all season long. How confident are you guys that, that defense alone can help you guys through this postseason?
I feel really confident. When I'm on the mound, I know the 8 guys or 7 guys behind me are going to have my back, and I feel real comfortable putting the ball in the play, or letting let the offense hit, and just letting our defense work.
We'll go back to Eric.
And I guess, Chase, just for someone who's never gone through it, those first couple innings where you didn't allow a hit, what does it feel like to kind of be in a groove like that on the mound?
Honestly, you just can't think about it. You just got to keep going. That was the biggest thing for me. Just kept trying to stay locked in, and be there for my team whenever they get me runs. And I just went out there and did what I was supposed to do.
Keith.
Chase is a young guy looking towards your first postseason. How important is what you're hearing from coaches, and especially the veteran players in the locker room for you?
Honestly, for all young guys, all freshmen on our team, we just got to step up. We're a big part of this team, and all of us are going to play a big part in us going to Omaha and winning it.
Coach, obviously Jace gets a lot of credit for his ability to hit the home run, and as he should. But as Carlos mentioned yesterday, I think with this game, he reached base in every game this season. What does that say about him as a player, and how really difficult is that to do?
He can separate balls and strikes. He moves on the right pitches for the most part. He's a guy that's obviously he's recognized that some people have he's even done a good job of recognizing situations where maybe they're going to pitch on one side of the plate or not, or maybe even pitch around him. And again, he's one of those guys that's been really fun to watch watch grow. And, we've been watching him since he's a little guy running around here.
And then what do you think about Chase's performance today on the mound? Probably had to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, really fun to watch. Power stuff. Really had good command of all three today. Again, it's been a different year with COVID in the fall and through the spring and all that stuff. It's everybody kind of has their time, and it's wouldn't surprise me at all if it's his time.
We'll go to Carlos.
Coach, I know we asked you before with these two big series wins going into the tournament. I guess, do you kind of feel like momentum's on your side, or do you kind of feel like it's just another game once you kind of put the uniforms on and get back on the field again in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, usually the off day takes care of the momentum in college baseball, and you got to pitch and play defense. That's where it starts. And very much like today's game, you're going to hit some balls at them some days, and just not going to get a bunch of hits as far as that goes. But there are things that we can continue to try to get better at and keep growing. And guys are doing a good job of trying to do that.
In terms of the Big 12 tournament, I know you mentioned you were saving Mason to kind of get that first start. I guess what are you kind of expecting just from all the teams? And I know, like you said, it's been an unusual season, but just to kind of get back to tournament action, I guess what's that going to be like for you all?
Yeah, well, it's twofold. Again, we didn't want Chase to be sitting there for a long period of time and not get a start. And Mason had one. And as far as going to Oklahoma City and playing, it's something that we look forward to. The competition in this league definitely, there's an advantage to playing in a good league. Our league definitely sets you up. The competition's good, and there's a lot of value in the teams and the pitching we face and the hitters we face each day. And we'll look at that no different going to Oklahoma City.
We'll go to Keith.
Coach, obviously he's been struggling and battling through it this season. Two, back-to-back 3 RBI days for Nate. What did you see from him the last couple of days that you liked?
Tell you, he's been working really hard over the last probably week and a half. He's really put good at bats together for us, and you could see it coming. He's in a good spot, and he's confident. And so again, it's not necessarily game stuff you're seeing, and it's usually inter squad and simulated games. But he's stuck with it, and he's a guy that's always hit. And again, it's we're trying to get a little bit better each day, and that's part of sticking him over there, and it's part of running Chase out there this weekend. And one thing that we're definitely feel like it's something that we've always done is to try to grow as the season goes through the tournaments, through Big 12 play. And again, I just think he's in a good spot.
We'll go to Ronald.
Coach, obviously you guys want to win, every game that you go out there and play, but after losing that first game, how important was it to, be able to bounce back in game 2 and then go on to win this series?
Yeah, and in the overall picture of what you're talking about, which would be hosting and national seat stuff, it's important. But the obstacles the game puts in front of you, just the mental side of it is important to value that. The competition we face, and just not going to win every game in this league, I don't think. Not saying it couldn't be done, but it's again, I think we try to keep things in perspective and trying to play our best baseball here down the stretch.
You guys have had so many challenges this year, between injuries, series being canceled and moved around and things like that. But how does that adversity sort of, help you guys going into this postseason? Obviously, it seems like you've dealt with pretty much everything that they can hand you guys.
Yeah, I mean, this whole group, really, you look at the freshman group, probably been dealt the toughest hand of anybody in college baseball. I mean, those guys had their season wiped out. Not many of them played in the fall. Really choppy. I mean, in the summer, really choppy fall. And everybody in the world's had adversity here over the last, year and a couple months. And we look at that, things happen for a reason. Try to do that and look at it in a good way and try to embrace that.
I'll go back to Eric.
Because we talked about Chase specifically today, but over his past 5, I think he hasn't given up more than 2 earned. Where has he made that big progression, especially recently, in terms of his ability to keep runs off the board?
Yeah, I think it's again, I think he's just been in a good spot. I think it took some time. He even had a weekend back. I can't remember the exact weekend, but we had a weekend where he had to kind of not pitch a weekend, had a blister on his finger, kind of had to push him to Wednesday. And again, those freshmen, it's just different. It's different than it's ever been. I think you give him a high school season and a summer and a regular fall. I think he's right where he is right now. And nothing else, maybe a month into the season, if not opening day. And he's a guy that, we're tickled to death to get the guy to school. I mean, when we're talking about 32 major league teams, we're not talking about competing with other colleges. And he's a guy that's got a gift, and he's confident, as you guys can see. But it's been different timing maybe than in the past, maybe like from when, your Davis Martins and Stephen Gingrich walk in and they're lake ready day one in the spring and, ready to pitch. These guys have been dealt a little bit different hand than those guys.
And then you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but overall, what have you seen from your team, let's say even in the past month, that gives you confidence going not only into Oklahoma City, but just the postseason as a whole?
Yeah, it comes and goes. I mean, really, to understand the value of the obstacles in front of you each day and understand how hard this game is mentally and physically to play 9 innings. And as long as we keep continuing to do that, we like what we got, like what we have. And all these guys can play the game physically and, mentally it's a challenge. And again, we like that they really like to play baseball and they all have a lot of really good aptitude about them.
Keith, do you have another one?
Yes, I do. Coach, obviously, working pitch to pitch, be where your feet are, the things that are part of your philosophy and what you bring to the team is so important. But how much for you and your coaching staff do you guys have to look ahead to tournaments and postseason and positioning, as you mentioned, hosting and all that kind of stuff? How much do you have to think about that on your side of things?
Oh, I mean, we think about that throughout the whole year, but it's not something that consumes us. I mean, we try to deal with the day to day and trying to get a little bit better each day within our roster. All 35 guys, or how many the number is as far as that goes. I guess you're talking about 30 that go to, Oklahoma City, and then 27 after that. And but when you start looking at it, like, you'd be crazy not to look at 2 weeks from now instead of just this coming week. At the same time, there is a lot of value in playing a baseball game every day this time of year. And so there's your answer as far as Oklahoma City goes. I mean, we want to go. I mean, they're giving a trophy away in Oklahoma City. We want to bring the trophy home, but not with the expense of maybe the next week, I guess is what you're looking for.